And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now either way. Though they've come out with a purpose.
Win 18. Ready? Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end right.
Rodgers now on first down. And this one caught by Beasley. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the Vikings' 25-yard line.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6. Here's Rodgers. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. On third down, here's Lindsey. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be fourth down now. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Flipper, flipper, flipper.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Jameis to throw it. Man open, he's got it complete to Courtland Sutton. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now Winston. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Cortland Sutton. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is. So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now. Throwing is Rodgers. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. On first down, Rodgers. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They only get two there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And the Steelers first down.
54, Mike. Get ready, get ready.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. Down to about the 22 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
54's Mike, 54's Mike. Check.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. He'll find Lindsey here. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
Watch out. 26.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Philip Lindsey with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Ready.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Now on 2nd and 13. Winston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems...
And he's going to go down again. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a carry for Lindsey. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Rodgers. That is caught at the 7. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. The end result, 21 yards. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
You know, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Another try after the 1st down sack. Rodgers back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
Prater's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Fielded about a yard deep. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
At the 26-yard line.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 11. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Now Rodgers. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you've got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit.
Ready. Move ready. Watch the run. Watch tight end. 3, 3 down. My game. Defense.
Winston on 3rd and 2. He's got his man here. It's Green. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Final play of the half here. Winston. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And now the throw hauled in by Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. First down, Winston. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Tim Williams, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. To throw is Winston. He's got Green. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 36.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. To throw, Winston. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Ronald Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Rosas good with the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
At the 23-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Rodgers. Ebron caught left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Ronald Jones with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They had that lead that is now gone. It is completely gone. Yeah, how does that affect the psyche? Or am I reading into that too much? They should be okay still?
No, you're not reading into it too much at all. You've got to wonder what the psyche is of a team, because once you build up a lead and things are rolling pretty well, you don't expect it to change. And for it to change this dramatically, and now they're the team doing the chasing, Yeah, you want to check out where they are mentally and whether or not they have it in them to come back. We'll soon find out.
Yeah, they're on their heels a bit right now.
Hey, 88.
From the 25 on second down, Rodgers, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. By the way, they're into the second half now in Philadelphia on the NFL scoreboard. And really pouring it on now are the Falcons. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Like ready. White 25.
Hey, guys, 18 loves to go deep. Put a body in.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Winston. This pass complete to Reynolds. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 21.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Winston now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll go again to Jones. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Ready. Select. Shift.
Now Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. So it'll be 2nd and goal when we return. We've played 3 quarters, and that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Working out of the gun, Winston. He completes it to Jones. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And Rosas puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for 1st down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsey. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hey, box truck.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Short little throw to Ebron. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Lindsey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Second and 11 now. Rodgers, and he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Third down. Third and long.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. From the gun, Winston. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Here's Jones. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and the defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something that mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Fletcher Cox in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Hey, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Check it back. Check it back.
Again, it's Jones. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Ready. Do ready. Focus, defense, focus. Check. Rush in. Wait. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Check. Lucky.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and making an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. One final try now for Rodgers. Screen pass to Lindsey, and they're able to get this one across the 35. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Minnesota, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our